But what I'd really like to do is explain to you why the Royal College of Nursing is sitting here today. And the rationale behind that was that I believe that we had a very grown-up debate about a very real issue. And our members, just like the general public, come with all sorts of baggage. And one of the things that we made very clear when we were debating the current legislation regarding prostitution, sex workers, was that we were not going to look at a moral, ethical or religious point of view. And as part of the research that I undertook in presenting this to Council was that we looked at what the law intended to do. And I would ask everybody in this room to just think for a minute, forget about the moral issues and the value system that you may hold, but just look and ask yourself, does the law actually prevent prostitution? Does it help in any way? Does it help the women, the men, or the public? And I believe that it does none of those things. Normally, laws are there either to prevent something or to punish. And we believe that punishment has no role to play in this situation, absolutely none whatsoever. Consenting sex between adults is a private affair, and we do not believe that the criminal justice system is the right way to tackle that. And the reasons behind that were based purely on health. When we spoke to our members, we discovered that sex workers were often marginalised, they were vulnerable, they felt that they couldn't access services in the same way as the general public because there was a perception that in some way they were lesser individuals, that in some way they didn't deserve the same sort of care. And I'm ashamed to say that in some cases that was true. They were treated as different individuals. And our members were saying to us that we needed to reverse that. We needed to support women who were in the sex trade. What we do know as nursing staff is that in any other part of our areas of practice, where you have compulsion, it doesn't work. If you try and force somebody to go into rehabilitation, they will go if they have no choice, but it doesn't necessarily produce the outcome that you want to achieve. And looking at this proposal, the biggest issue that we have with it is that there is an element of compulsion. It's punitive. It's not about caring. It's not about protection. It's about persecution. And we need to be very strong and say, this isn't the right approach. The money that's going to be spent on this needs to be put into the other areas that we know feed the need and the requirement for people to earn the living in such a way. And we'd much rather see, if this bit, we would like this clause removed. We don't think it serves its purpose. Should it not be removed, then what we would like to see is an amendment that offers the opportunity, a choice for people to make, but it should never, ever, ever be tagged to a compulsion for services and the threat of imprisonment. This is 2007. These principles in this bill are based on an Edwardian idea of sex work, and we should be strong enough to stand outside of that. And I hope that we can convince the people that need to be convinced that this is not a good bill for health.